We could keep it, I guess, the same to what we used to do.
Damn it! I thought you were gonna say that. Hopefully we can keep it up, and I was gonna say that's what she said.
Oh God.
Started off like that. That'd have been hilarious.
Jeez. You always gotta start off with something like that.
Hey,
But
screw it. What's going on, everyone? John here from the Real Talk, back again with Audrey this time. Audrey, it's awesome to have you back here on the Real
it's
Talk
been
podcast.
it's been a hot minute.
This is episode 34, and honestly, I don't think it feels like 34.
It doesn't. It feels like we should be at like at least 50.
It feels like 60. Yeah, like 60,
50
like
or
number
60. Yeah, for real. Because it feels like we were doing it pretty consistently, and then, well, yeah, we stopped. But still, we would do it weekly. So
Yeah,
that's hard to believe that it's only been 34 weeks in total. That's
yeah.
crazy.
Because I mean, also the channel too. We're about to hit 3 years in February, in a few months, and that's crazy too. It feels like I don't know if it feels longer or shorter, but yeah, guys. Hopefully, if you guys missed the podcast, we can figure it out again. Try to do it weekly at least, or even bi-weekly would be cool. Whatever would work best for us. But if you guys are new to the podcast, what me, Audrey do, we kind of just chit chat and kind of like you know catch up and just talk about like random stuff in the beginning. And then, if I have like little topics I'd like to hit or something, I'll just, hey, Audrey, let's talk about this or something. And then basically that's the show. It's just us talking about movies and life in general. And yeah, and if anything, hopefully I can put in those timestamps down below. But I feel like we have a lot to talk about, Audrey, because it's been like 2 months since we did one of these. I've been seeing some movies and even TV and stuff like that. There's been a lot coming out, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool time to be a movie fan, because all the Oscar movies are coming out and all that stuff. But other than that, Audrey, how you been?
With the same thing, like you said, just watching a lot of movies, watching a lot of TV shows. We've had a bunch of cool originals coming out, which have been pretty dope. But I was actually gonna say, I feel like movie-wise, right now, there's nothing really that I want to see at this moment.
Yeah.
But but I have been keeping up with like what's been coming out and stuff. But I feel like it's gotten kind of slow. Like like you said, it is gonna be Oscar season, so hopefully it picks up again. And then of course we have like Star Wars coming out and stuff like that. So that's gonna be a big deal. I know for everyone. So but no, yeah. Well, I'm in a new place. I don't know if you guys can tell. For the ones that have seen the show before. So yeah, I've been moving. So that's been crazy. But it's funny that I still find the time to watch movies.
Like even like me too, like we were saying before we started the show, with all my commute, like 4 hours of traffic, like even getting home, like if I could only do one thing, it would be watch a movie. Like I don't care if I do anything else, like I'll leave it for my day off. I'll just sit down, watch a movie, and then go back to sleep and start it all over again.
Yeah.
But for me, like that makes it worth it. Like I don't know why. Like at least if I knock out a movie or like a few episodes of a show or something, then I'm okay. Like I feel like I accomplished something. Like I'm all right, cool. Like I made
Yeah.
the day worth it.
Well, I mean, I'm really happy that you've been keeping up with it because, I mean, obviously, even though I haven't been doing the podcast, I've still been watching like your reviews pop up and stuff like that. So it's pretty good that you've been keeping up. And I enjoy watching your reviews still. And I was like, damn, I was like, that's good that he's still keeping it up.
No, yeah, like I kind of like was MIA for a while. Like I tried to start it back up. Okay, cool. At least do something weekly. And then I don't know, like I wasn't planning on it. A lot of our friends from this community were kind of like, hey, like you should come back to YouTube or something. And I was, yeah, I'm working on it. Like when I have time, like I kind of want to stay consistent with it. Like start it and stay consistent. So I don't see it happening for like another month or something. And then just one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just shoot like 6 videos, and I did 6 videos, and I had a week worth of videos, and then just started keeping up from then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's been pretty cool too.
Yeah, I've noticed that you've been watching a lot of the new releases like way before they come out, and I'm like, wow, over here has like
Yeah.
premium access. You can see them the early screenings and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Um,
Yeah, on that too, I've been trying to like kind of like The Irishman. I know it's coming to Netflix on the 27th, but actually for my birthday, I knew there was a screening at the Egyptian Theater. I was like, you know what? Screw it. You know, it's my birthday. It's a movie I'm highly anticipating. Let me just go watch it. You know, I've been making a lot of trips over there, and since I worked over there, it's kind of just close by. You know, I'll go to an early screening here and there.
mhm. That's like basically nothing for you, like the commute now from your house to LA.
Yeah, I feel like I could do it with my eyes closed,
Well,
which is
yeah, that's
dangerous,
cool.
but
Well, that's cool though. Like at least that you have that advantage now, which is something that I think is really cool. And I've always thought that it was cool just to get that early access to any type of movie. But speaking of The Irishman, how was that 3 hour and a half? Jesus. Do they have like an intermission or something, or do they have like little breaks or anything like
unfortunately,
that?
no.
It's just
It's
ongoing.
just literally the whole 3 hours and 29 minutes. I went with Alex, and I think he got up like twice, but I just stayed through the whole thing.
Jesus.
Because I felt like I conditioned myself with like well other movies too, but this year I saw um excuse me, Endgame like 6 times in theater, and that one was almost 3 hours too.
Mm-hmm.
And then people too like they were kind of not complaining, but they're like saying stuff about the runtime. But it's like, dude, like you binge a show that's if you watch 8 episodes of it, it's like 8 hours. Like what do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
as far as the movie and how it flowed, I think you do feel it at the end. It's like, oh man, this is getting kind of long. But like I said in my review, I think it's necessary for the story he was trying to tell. You know.
Right.
So I think you do feel it, but it was necessary. You know.
Yeah. So you feel like it was worth it.
Yeah, definitely. Like if he
Definitely.
was trying to tell the same story in like 2 hours, it wouldn't have the same effect.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, when I saw that runtime, it did kind of like ooh me because I was like, it's a little bit intimidating just because I know how Martin Scorsese movies are,
Yeah.
and they're just very serious in tone and stuff like that. So I was like, Jesus, 3 hour and a half movie? Like, I don't know. And
Yeah.
lately, I feel like my patience for movies, I don't know why. I think it's because we've had all these movies come out that have been super long. Like, Endgame was super long. It Chapter 2 was super long. Um, which is another one that I just saw that I was like, damn, this is pretty long. Doctor Sleep was pretty long as well. They're all like 2 hours in
2 hours
two
and something.
hours and a half. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, Jesus, like why is it? I don't know if it's because I'm like getting older. I have no idea, but I just my threshold for sitting down is getting smaller and smaller. I
And
don't
your bladder too.
know. Yeah, that comes with old age. So I don't know, but anyways, I still want to see it for sure. I do want to see it, but I just have to mentally prepare myself. And because it's so long, the Alamo has only had like 2 or 3 screenings of it at the
Yeah.
most. Like it literally only has like 2 screenings. So hopefully I get the chance to watch it because I do want to see it. And especially if you're saying that it's good and it's worth it, well then that's cool.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I did want to see it at the Alamo over here, because I haven't been there yet at the one in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, yeah, I noticed there was like 2 screenings, and they just kept being sold out, because I feel like everybody wanted to watch the movie there, so I was like, damn it. But I also said in the review that I think it's good that it's coming out on Netflix, because then you
Mm-hmm.
can just watch it however you want. You can watch an hour here, go do whatever, and then come back, continue it. Pause it, go to the restroom, and stuff like that. So I think it's pretty cool, and it's coming out on the 27th, so it's like before Thanksgiving. And for some reason, I found like, okay, cool. Like if you need something to watch with the family, I think that would be cool. Like even though it's like a mob movie, a gangster movie,
Yeah.
it's not for kids, but I think it'll still be kind of cool to watch it with your family,
Yeah. No,
because that's
yeah,
one
I
of the
think
themes
so
of it
too.
too.
Yeah, it's
Family.
very family oriented, which is perfect for Thanksgiving. But speaking of long movies, I actually have an exciting announcement to tell you. An announcement? I don't think it's an announcement, but
You didn't tell me beforehand.
I was like, it's not an announcement really, but I finally got around to watching the Lord of the Rings movies because you know that I
No
haven't seen
way.
those. Yes, I finally
What?
watched all three. My
Which ones
boyfriend.
though? The regular one or the extended cut?
No, the regular ones. What are you talking
Okay.
about?
At least you watched it. At least you watched it.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about? The extended cut? No. Yeah, no, my boyfriend made me watch them. He was like, okay, like we did the first one and then we did the second one like right after, like the next day, and then we waited a bit and then we watched the last one. He was like, we have to do it. And I was like, is it really necessary to watch the third one? He's like, yes. He's like, you
Oh
have to
yes.
watch the third one. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay. And then it's just, you know what? They didn't feel as long as I thought. But like I said, I do get sleepy. I do get like my attention span is not what it used to be. So I did get kind of distracted. And and my boyfriend was like, "You literally like missed everything." Cuz like I would ask him questions and he'd be like, "They were just talking about that." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, sorry." But I got the gist of it. I got the gist of it. And I can say that I did like them. Like I can see the appeal. I like the whole fantasy aspect to it. It's just so much to keep track of. Like there's so many different characters and it's just like, ugh. And then the names are weird and I just can't like keep up with everything.
Yeah.
But overall the story was cool and everything was really cool. I can't even imagine reading the books because I feel like they're probably worse than Game of Thrones and how detailed they are.
Yeah.
So I'm just like Jesus, but no, I can definitely see the fandom, and I enjoyed it. It was cool. I don't know. I still haven't decided which one's my favorite, but I did enjoy all of them. But yeah, when I finished watching them, I was like, oh, I have to tell John because he's gonna be so excited because he was like, you've never
Finally though,
seen.
like the thing is you at least watched them because I know that was part of our like movies we haven't seen. That was one
Yeah.
of yours. And I was kind of like
Hmm.
just shocked, but at least you watched them. I'm
At
proud of
least at least I got it done, and at least it's now that's a because it was bothering me that I hadn't seen them just because I know that they're so iconic.
you. Yeah.
And I'm just like, I have to see them at least once. So
And
yeah. So
props to Ben. Shout out to again. Shout out to Ben.
shout out
Yeah.
to
That
Ben.
I feel like he's a keeper. He made you see Lord of the Rings. All right, cool. He gets the okay. Another okay for me
He
in my
gets
book.
the stamp of approval from
Yeah.
the Real Talk, from
Hell
the Real
yeah.
Talk peeps. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. He's if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have watched it to be honest. Cause yeah, of my own validity, I wouldn't have been like, hey, let's watch Lord of the Rings. Probably not.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, they are pretty long. Especially the last one. The last one's 3 hours. 3 hours, yeah. That one was long.
Yeah, and it ends so many times. Like you think it's ending, and it just keeps going.
Yeah. Exactly. And I was like, wait, what's happening? And I was like, wait, who's the king? What? Who are these people? So yeah, it was pretty comical. But yeah, so that's what I've watched recently at home. I'm trying to think of what else I've seen at home. But yeah, Irishman. I still have to see that. Hopefully I see
Yeah.
it. Hopefully I see it soon.
And another little movie. I kind of want to talk to you about three movies, kind of two. But one movie I want to talk to you about is Parasite. I don't know if
Damn.
you've seen it.
Damn. That movie was so fucking good. Oh my god. That movie was great. I still want to watch it again. If it were up to me, I would have seen it again already. Like I would have already gone to go see it. I probably should. But that's another pretty long movie. It's like 2 hours and a half, I think. But it was great.
Yeah. It has
Was
yeah,
it?
it's lengthy, I guess. But yeah, I really want to see it again. It's just like been so many like new ones coming out. Like, or I already seen it. And I've been wanting to keep up actually. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean when I saw it again, I got a chance to see it at the ArcLight. Again, it was like one of the things like, you know what, everybody's talking about it. I'm here already. Let me just go watch it,
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean I already have a review up for that. It's hard to say right now. I think it is still my favorite because I seen another movie that might take my favorite spot of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just think it's that damn good. It's like I haven't seen a movie like that in a long time.
Yeah, it left me so like what's the word? Like in awe. I think that was what I was waiting for this whole year when I
Yeah.
say like I'm waiting for that movie that just really hits me, that's the movie that hit me for the year so far. I mean, we still got like a month. So who knows, a month and a half. But for now, the year, oh no, my camera moved.
I don't want to say anything. I saw it slowly go up. I was like, oh no, like stop, 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 stop.
Why didn't you say anything?
I thought it was gonna
I
stop,
I
and I
just
didn't want to interrupt
instantly
you.
I just instantly saw it get dark and I was like, oh crap. Sorry. Technical issues. But anyways, so yeah, that movie was one of the greatest movies I've seen this whole it's probably for me it definitely has been one of my favorites, if not my favorite of the year. The
Yeah.
way the way it just built and all the unexpected turns
Yeah.
was just nuts. Like nuts. I just loved it. And honestly, from the trailer, I wasn't expecting I don't want to say a lot, but I was just kind of like, okay, like it'll be cool. But I
Yeah.
wasn't really expecting anything like great from it, to be honest. But it reminded me of like Burning and Shoplifters and all those movies that I've seen that I'm like, wow, they're so good in storytelling and the way they build it up,
Yeah.
you know?
No,
But
yeah, I agree. I agree with you in that sense too. Like, I was anticipating it because I like the director and what he's done before, but because of his past work that I've seen at least, I really really enjoyed his movies. But I wasn't like, okay, like this is gonna be like a day one. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
But then slowly but surely I started hearing all the hype, and then I just went to go see it. And yeah, all the twists and turns are great. The amount of suspense that he's able to build was like, I feel like just so, it's like it's not a thriller or suspenseful movie, but he still manages to pull it off like a lot, like. And I wouldn't. I did a spoiler review kind of in the review, but again, like once that kind of like turn happens, I feel like it kind of goes from like a dark comedy to kind of then now ever since that moment it's like suspenseful.
Mhm.
And it just has you at the edge of your seat, and I just thought everything was built well. The acting was phenomenal, the direction obviously, and just the title of the movie. It fits so well for so many like different purposes, in the
Yeah.
movie. I thought that was
Mhm.
really cool as well. So it should deserve it deserves all the awards. It should be like
Give
sold
them
out
everything.
everywhere. Uh,
Give them
yeah.
everything. No, yeah, it's been amazing. The ending in itself was just like wow. Like it was so good. The ending was amazing. The last 20 minutes you're just like what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're like what's happening? I don't know if you have I don't remember if your review is spoiler or non-spoiler. It's non-spoiler, huh?
It's not. I just give like a brief kind of, okay, well, this is like my thoughts on it without spoiling it, and then I get into spoilers because like that movie I had to talk about it. Like I had to talk about everything that happened. So I mean, obviously, if you heard about the movie, I'm pretty sure everybody's recommending it. But if you haven't seen the review, I mean, go check it out. And if you have seen the movie, check out all of it and see what I had to say about all the little twists and turns, surprises, and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth the watch, like for sure.
Yeah.
And I definitely, like I said, I want to see it again. I'm surprised I haven't, but yeah, it was so good. Another movie that I was pleasantly surprised with was Jojo Rabbit.
Oh
Have you?
yes.
That was great. I loved it. It was so, it's so good.
Yep.
The humor is so good. The way Taika did the whole like Adolf, he just did it amazing. Like I thought that was great. Only he could pull it off like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but it was also very sad, and it had its like moments where you're just like, what?
Yeah.
And it makes you so sad. But it was so good. It was so good. It was a lot more than I expected to, because honestly, once again, it was one of those where I saw the trailer and I was like, I knew I was gonna watch it because obviously it's Taika and it looked funny, but it wasn't at all portrayed from what I got from the actual movie. So that was cool.
Yeah, I definitely didn't expect it to be like emotional like it was. I was kind of saying like, damn, like this guy is really taking a big risk, especially in a time right now, with him portraying Adolf and just the story in general. But I think there's a big reason why he did that, and I think it succeeded a lot, and especially in a time like this. And for that, I mean, to make a movie like this work, you have to kind of just have the script down to a T, and kind of know what you want. And I feel like Taika did that, So yeah, even the performances from the child actors, I'm forgetting Roman Griffin Davis, I think his name is, the little boy. Like, he surprised me. Like, he's the reason why the movie works overall too, because you have to believe in him, and kind of seeing his point of view, because he's just a kid and that's all he knows, But then again, there's still like an innocence to him. So I thought it was because of him the movie worked. Also the girl too. She came out in Leave No Trace. She's the girl from Leave No Trace.
She looks familiar from somewhere else though.
I think she has been in some other things too, but I that's where I knew her from Leave No Trace. Again, thank you for recommending that to me. I mean, it was already on my radar, but I know I've seen it once. You're like, dude, you got to see this movie from last year. So
yeah. Also, Sam Rockwell did amazing.
Yeah, everybody. I think even Rebel Wilson, even though she's not in it a lot, but usually I'm kind of thrown off by her.
Yeah, she still did a pretty good job.
Funny part, yeah.
The one that stole my heart was the little boy, his little friend. Oh my god.
Oh, the glasses.
What was his name? Yoko? Yodi?
Something like that.
Something like with a Y or something. But oh my god, he was so cute. I was like loving him. But no, yeah, the performances from the kids were.
Even Scarlett Johansson was pretty good too.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's kind of been missing. She's been good in things, but I feel like she hasn't been as good as her first roles, But in this one, I think she was pretty.
She's always been kind of like this for me. Like, she's never had like a woof for me, and then like it's just always very like, I can, like, if she's in a movie, I can count on her being her. You know what I mean? Like, she's just gonna be.
Actually, in Under the Skin, she was pretty good. She didn't have a lot to do because that was her character, but it takes a pretty good actor to kind of play that role, like kind of just not saying anything, not saying much, and still. So I think she was good at that. But yeah, that's another one that like I thought I was gonna love it, but I just came out of theater just oh my god, like it blew my expectations out of the water. And it's another movie that I feel like a lot of people haven't been seeing, like, of course in our community, but I feel like this is a movie that could be way more popular, because of its subject matter and like the time we are now,
Yeah, for sure.
And also Parasite.
Yeah, I mean, all those movies I think have a very strong message to them. So if you can get out there and watch them, take from it what you want, but it'll still take something from it,
And something that I didn't know what I took from is The Lighthouse.
Oh my god.
Because that movie, I fell in love with it from beginning to end. Like I just love that movie too. It's one of my favorites.
That movie, we were waiting for it. Me and Ben was ecstatic. I think Ben was much more enthralled by it than I was. He was just like all about it. And then we find out that Alamo wasn't going to show it for whatever reason. I have no idea, which was really weird because I was like, this is right up the strange. Alamo's alley. I mean, it's A24, it's Robert Pattinson, but whatever. Yeah. The fact that they didn't show it was a bummer. So they showed it at one theater all the way like in the other side of town. So we went to go see it, and it was one of those movies that like coming right out from it, I was just kind of like, okay, what did I watch? But then when I started thinking about it, I was like, oh, okay. I get it now. And I really, really liked it because I caught on to all the little subtle details that would make it, I guess, creepy. Or not creepy, but more, I guess, in a sinister way. Or in anything like that. And I did some more research on it, on like what Robert Eggers wanted to, where he took the inspiration from, and all that made it much more. That thing moved again. Why don't you tell me? I look all dark.
I just didn't want to interrupt you.
You can, or at least go like this, like
Audrey.
Be like, you're dark again, because then they're not gonna see me, and they're gonna be like, what is that? A spot. But anyways, so yeah, so that made it really really cool. And the performances obviously were
Oh,
amazing. Yeah,
yeah.
the performances were amazing. Um, the fact that it was shot in one, it was just shot there at the lighthouse, which could make a lot of people get bored, for
Yeah.
lack of a better word. But I mean, it really, God, this is bugging me. It really didn't feel like that. It didn't feel boring to me at all, just because the performances were so damn good. I just wanted to
Yeah.
see what they were gonna say, you know. And
So you watch
William,
it with subtitles, huh?
yes,
Yeah, because
I
a lot
have
of
to.
times it's like fast dialogue too, and it's like a little bit. It's not as complicated as like a dialogue from back then can be, I think so.
Hmm.
But it's still kind of like, hey, wait, what? Like, what is
Yeah,
it? What did he say? What does he mean?
and I have so much respect for William Dafoe now because I
Oh
mean I've
yeah.
always liked him, but I have a lot more respect for him because I, for me, my first introduction to him, embarrassing to say, was from Spider-Man. It was from the Green Goblin,
Yeah.
when I was a little kid. And all I remember thinking was, man, this man is terrifying.
Mhm.
Like, like I was just scared of him when I was little because I always had that image of him as the Green Goblin. But as I've gotten to now see him in all these other roles and I've looked at his past films, I'm like, man,
Have you
he's such a
seen
great actor.
Loveless?
Loveless? No, I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
No. Like, I haven't seen it either, but it's one of his past films that I've been really wanting to check out. I think it's like one of his first. But continue. My bad. Just
Well, no, I was just saying that like I really admire him and I like the fact that he's very much a big supporter of indie directors. Like he prefers to work with directors that have like some sort of vision and he's willing to stand behind them. Like even if they're really no one at that point, you know?
yeah.
Um so yeah, so I really respect that from him and like I said, his performance was great. I think he should be nominated for sure. More so than Robert Pattinson, even though I think he did do an amazing job, but I just feel like William Dafoe took it. Like he just took it.
No, yeah, I agree with you. I thought both of them did phenomenal jobs. And again, like Robert Pattinson, I think it's like the third movie of his I seen this year because I
Hmm.
saw for the first time The Rover and High Life. And in every movie that I've seen him so far, he's a completely different character, even almost with like a different accent, you know. And but in this one
Yeah.
again, he's phenomenal. And but I would give the edge to Defoe because I don't know, he was just amazing in that.
Like I was like, wow. Like I bought the whole accent. I bought everything about him and the
Yeah,
fact of him being this like madman, you know. It was just ugh. Like thinking about it now, I'm just like, man, he did great. But but yeah, so those were two film that was one of the films that we were also looking forward to that did not disappoint, so that's cool. But taking a little break, I want to talk to you about something else, something a little bit exciting.
another
movie
surprise. What else
movie
did you see?
related. No, I was just gonna say it's taking a break from movies, but going into movies, I guess again. How do you feel, or have you subscribed to the monster now known as Disney Plus that's gonna
um,
take over the world?
yeah, I was excited because I think like 2 weeks before it was released, I got a little thing from Verizon saying, "Hey, like get Disney Plus on us if you have the unlimited data plan." And I was like, "Cool, I do." So thanks to them, I have a whole year for free.
Oh
So
wow.
that's cool. And also, I was really excited for the Mandalorian. So
Yes.
that was
Mhm.
something I was really excited for. And I actually have that too on here in my notes. So it's cool that you
Oh
brought
yeah.
it up. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I haven't. I to be perfectly honest, I haven't seen anything else other than the Mandalorian right now, because there's just a lot to see. And I just created a whole entire playlist, not playlist, but like just a watch list on Hulu of like incredible movies that I've been wanting to watch. Like if Beale Street Can Talk, and even Shoplifters is on there, and
Mhm.
even Booksmart is on there now too, which is pretty cool. So I want to get through those before I start anything on Disney Plus. But yeah, it's been crazy. All these memes, all this stuff. Like they've been trying to do a Netflix and chill with Disney Plus, and just all this stuff. has been it's kind of crazy. All these controversies and debates and all that stuff. So
I mean, it's Disney's literally taking over the world. And I'm not gonna lie, when Ben told, because Ben, of course, was the one that was like the one that got it. And I
yeah,
was like, at first I was kind of like, what are you talking about? And I was kind of like even like making fun of him. I was like, oh, Disney Plus, like it's just, what is it gonna have? Like I had no idea the monster that it was. And then when I actually like logged in, I was like, holy shit, they have
yeah,
shit that like I haven't seen in years that I thought was in the vault or whatever they call it. They put it in the vault. And it's just amazing to have everything Disney related. And then that's when you realize how many things are actually indeed Disney. Things that I didn't
yeah.
even know were Disney. I was like, what? And then of course they have like the Marvel universe in there, and then they have Pixar, and we have
Star
I think
Wars.
Star Wars. They have National Geographic. They have that new Jeff Goldblum show that's coming out.
Yeah,
So I'm just like, damn, like it's a whole, it's a whole thing.
yeah,
Um, but but it's great. I was just amazed with all the content that it had, and I'm pleasantly surprised. And I think it's well worth the $6 because I was kind of worried that it wasn't going to be worth it, but I could
yeah.
see it being worth it. Especially
Oh
with you
yeah.
said like the Mandalorian and stuff, which Ben's really into. I saw like the first episode. Second episode is the one that really caught my attention because of Baby Yoda. Yes.
Spoilers,
Very,
but I mean, I'm pretty sure
very,
everybo's seen
yeah.
it.
Sorry.
Like even Mo
Super
hasn't
niche.
seen it, but he
Oh
knows
shit.
about Baby Yoda.
Oh shit. Sorry. If you haven't seen the memes of Baby Yoda, then you're
No,
kind of,
yeah, it's
it's
taken
like
over
everywhere.
Twitter,
Like I'm like,
Instagram.
then you just haven't been on social media. But
Yeah,
yeah, so I was completely like in love with that. But it looks pretty good. Like one thing about Disney is that they never do anything short. You know what I mean? Like they give everything like they're 100%. So it's really interesting to see. And then we watched Lady and the Tramp on there, which was really cute.
oh, the live action or the original?
The live action.
I've been wanting to check it out. Like for some reason, when it was announced, I was like, really? But then once it came out, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. So it's on the watch list. That and then a new short from Pixar. I think it's called like Float or something.
Oh yeah,
I put
yeah.
that on the watch list too.
Yeah, because Pixar shorts are just like a whole nother little like movie in itself, and you're just like, wow. So so yeah, so that's definitely been killing it, so to speak,
Yeah.
um, right now with the streaming services. Because I was actually thinking, I was like, man, I wonder if I should get rid of like Hulu. But like you said, Hulu has been killing it too. They've been having some
Yeah.
really good movies. And I think they're all just trying to keep up with all these new things that are coming out. So
It's literally the streaming wars because you got Netflix too, you got Amazon Prime. Next year you're gonna have HBO Max, and it's like, damn, like now if you want to have them all, it's like close to $100, and it's
but
like,
it's
dude, that's the
basically
same.
like cable.
Yeah, like cables. Like what the hell, you know?
Hmm.
Um, but you gotta pick and choose. That could we can literally do a whole video about like breaking each of them down and stuff like that. And it just comes down to what you want to watch. Like if you're excited for like the MCU stuff and Star Wars, obviously Disney Plus is no brainer. If you want a little bit more, I guess indie stuff, I think Amazon Prime and Hulu do a better job
Yeah,
than
then
than
Netflix.
having those. Netflix has it all, but I think like it has like documentaries, like originals and animation and all that stuff. But I feel like I don't know, there's just too much on there that's kind of like you're kind of
Netflix has
intimidated by
been
it.
Yeah, Netflix has been getting a little bit sloppy. I feel like they're just kind of like the Netflix originals now don't look as good as they used to the first ones that
Yeah,
came out.
because
I
there's
feel
just
like
so
not.
much of them.
Yeah, and it's just I'm just kind of like when I go on Netflix, it's very rare that I find something to watch. So
Yeah,
usually now, the only reason I still have Netflix, to be quite honest, is because I have it for free. Like you said, you know how like either your cell phone or whatever offers you the service for free. So that's the only reason why I probably still have it. Because if not, I probably wouldn't even have it. And then you have Shudder,
oh yeah,
which is
Shutter.
another one. Which I actually watched that movie that you recommended, Tigers Are Not Afraid.
Oh, you actually watched it?
I did
Did you like
watch
it
it.
or not?
I did like it. It was really, really good. I was really pleasantly surprised. Also, another very sad movie that
Yeah,
hits very close to home, living
yeah,
so close to the border. It's just, yeah, and especially you do hear a lot of stories like that of kids that are just, that have been um, affected by the drug wars and stuff like that. So, not going into too much detail, but that's a very good movie. I highly recommend as well if you have
same here.
Shudder. It's very good. It does have like a Guillermo del Toro feel. Didn't he
Yeah, like
have
the
like
Pan's
a?
Labyrinth a little bit, huh?
Yeah, he didn't have any. I thought he did have like some sort of like connection to it, but apparently he doesn't.
No, it
So
does feel like probably he like produced it or something, right? Like I did
yeah,
get that vibe too.
or at least like the director, because I think it's a girl that directed it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like she drew inspiration from it for sure, but it was definitely really cool little watch because it's not that long, so it's a short movie that I do recommend on there. So yeah, so you have Shudder, and then Shudder's been having these original series like it had Creep Show, and it's just man, it's so saturated now that you just don't even know
yeah.
what to watch. And one that oh, and then you could probably geek out about this hardcore with Ben rather than me, but he's been really into Watchmen,
Oh
the
yes,
series.
HBO. Yeah,
Which
yeah, yeah.
do you have HBO too?
Yeah, I got it specifically for
For
that, for Watchmen, just for Watchmen. Like I
that
don't care
that's how
about
they
anything
get
else.
you because they like show you like, oh, this is gonna come out, but guess what? It's gonna be on CBS or some stupid shit like that, and you're like, oh, well, now I have to go get that. So, he's been really into
Have
it.
you seen any of the
I
episodes
have.
or?
I've been, yeah, I've seen, I want to say I've seen all of them, like bits and pieces of maybe the last two, but I have seen them. So it's cool. I like it. It's like I told
Cause
him though, I've never, even from the movie, I like the movie. As remember I told you I like Watchmen. It's just not like my favorite.
yeah, we
Like, oh
almost
my
we
God.
almost canceled the real talk because you
Yeah,
didn't.
because I didn't agree with you over Watchmen. But it's just, I feel like it's just very difficult for me to keep track of everything. I don't know, maybe it's too, what's the word? Sophisticated for me. I don't know. But,
Nah,
but
because if it's that, I mean, then I wouldn't get it at all.
I don't know. But it's just been one of those movies and I'm like, my brain hurts. Like, I don't know. I can't really wrap my brain around it. Like, it's not something that I would watch to relax.
Yeah. No, no,
Even
I feel you. I feel you.
But from what I've seen, and I've heard that it follows the comics like pretty spot
Yeah.
on. So
It is like a sequel to the comics, and that's why everybody was like, "Oh, how dare you?" You know. And there's
yeah.
even I really found this out too. There's a hashtag called Not My Watchmen because
Uh-huh.
they're dealing with racism, and the book didn't. And it's like, dude, Watchmen is supposed to be about what's happening in society, you know,
Yeah.
politically and
Mhm.
stuff like that, and that's what's happening today. So
Mhm.
it is Watchmen. Like, what are you talking about? But
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
being a Watchmen fan, I was really scared. I saw the first episode. All right, cool. This is a good start. Second episode. All right, I like
Yeah.
where they're going, and now I'm just in it like 100%. You know, everything they've been doing, kind of like little hints and nods to like original characters as well.
Mhm.
And especially this last episode, kind of just, I think it's my favorite of the bunch. But yeah, it's just been expanding the world and kind of, again, I don't want to say that they're rehashing a lot of things, but it's very similar in the themes and messages. Um, and yeah, I every week I'm just like, damn, I want it to be Sunday, you know, because
Yeah.
I think it's a well made show. You can definitely tell it's an HBO show,
Mhm.
and yeah, so far I've been loving what they've been doing. So yeah,
Yeah. No. Like I said, you and Ben could probably talk about that for hours, but I don't have a lot to offer because I'm not like a huge fan. But from what I've seen, being just a person that's seen it, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, and everything, the storyline's pretty captivating as well. I had to rewatch the film just so I could kind of know what was happening because I was
yeah,
super lost. Like when he put the first episode on, I was like, okay, what's happening?
yeah,
And then I had to rewatch it, which actually he has the comic, and I want to read the comic just because I feel like
yeah.
maybe I would enjoy more so the comic than the movie. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
I
just
think they're one and
because.
the same. I mean, because a lot of people's complaint was that it literally is an adaptation of the book. There is a lot of differences, but I think for you, if you read the book, you'll enjoy it more because I know you're a big reader.
Hmm.
And there's just a lot more other stuff that they don't really get to in the movie. Um, but yeah, I think if you're definitely watching the show, want to keep up with it and all the references, and yeah, definitely read the book.
Yeah.
And that's what I
Yeah,
love, that this
definitely.
show is kind of bringing more awareness again back like to the book, to the movie as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. So, like I said, we've had um a really, really our pick of the litter to watch from all these different things coming out. So no one has an excuse to not be watching anything.
Yeah, it's just like again, like it's kind of just like stupid the amount of stuff there is to watch now, and it can be intimidating. But just I would say go off of people's recommendations that you trust. You know, whether it be us or
Hmm.
like somebody else. If you really trust them, then go watch stuff that they're recommending. You know, and then going back to Netflix, just a few shout outs. Dolomite is my name was fantastic. Also, The King was pretty cool with Timothy Chalamet. I
Hmm.
thought he was pretty good in that. So Netflix, it can be a little bit muddy and stuff like that, messy, but every now and then it has like a pretty cool movie. Like upcoming has The Irishman. So like
Yeah.
they just have to do a better job in like categorizing stuff and like advertising stuff, you know?
Yeah. Because
Um
you really do have to search to find a solid one.
yeah.
Speaking of searching, I see your collection is ginormous now. Like, holy crap. I'm like, Jesus, you got movies on top of movies on top of movies.
On top of movies.
And
And
then coming up with Black Friday, I'm sure you're
Black
gonna
Friday
buy
is gonna be
more.
even worse. I was
Yeah.
planning to get a new shelf that holds like 600 some Blu-rays. But I'm not sure because I want to like either do I buy new movies, do I buy that, and I know I need an extra external hard drive because it's filling up too with all the videos. But
What I was gonna say is, why don't you just buy? They have those like racks that they use for like, I want to say like video stores, but they're not. They don't look like yours. They look like they have little slots. Is that the one that you're talking about that holds like 600 movies? They just
no,
have like a bunch of little slots.
that one is like these, but it's black and it's more wider. It's like literally for your collection, I guess.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like the one you have in your back, but like wider and taller.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
has like little sections too, so you can split it up. But I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just like little, like a bunch of just. So
And even
you
though
can.
I work in maintenance, I think I don't know. I think that'll be kind of daunting to put together or something. I don't know.
You'd be like, oh shoot, yeah, no, for real, because I'm like, Jesus, I was like looking at your collection compared to mine, and I'm like, damn, you surpassed me completely. But with Black Friday coming up, I haven't seen anything that I really want to buy, honestly. Well, then again, I didn't really look at the ad a lot, but I just kind of flipped through it, and I was like, there's some pretty good deals, like for the 4K especially, they're
Yeah.
super cheap. So. If you have 4K, oh, sorry. Oh, definitely take advantage of that. Oh, I got
Yeah.
sleepy.
No, yeah, I highlighted some of those in my previous Blu-ray video. I kind of went over some deals. There is a lot of great deals, but on like bigger movies, the only smaller movies I saw were on sale that I really enjoyed were Booksmart. It's gonna be $10, and also Crawl, the one with the alligators or whatever. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it's also $10, which I would recommend. But yeah, everything else is kind of like like the Pokemon, Shazam,
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla, John Wick, which are all movies I missed out on because I knew they were gonna be on sale for Black Friday. So I was like, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, and because of that, that's why I just picked up the Farewell and Peanut Butter Falcon because they're pretty cheap. So I was like, all right, why not? Because I have to,
So,
even though my collection does look big, but I've been taking your approach and kind of buying movies, you know, that I
that,
really, you know.
well, damn, you like a lot of money. I'm all like, Jesus, you have a huge collection. But hey, that's cool. I mean, shit. I think that's every like movie lover's dream to just have a bunch of movies. And then I 100%, even with all these streaming services, I still 100% don't. I think I've done the right decision of actually purchasing DVDs because there's some movies that you just can't find. Like I've tried looking for movies that are really, really old, and I try searching for them like on every streaming platform, Google, anything, and they're just not available. So I strongly do still support the fact of actually purchasing a DVD for your
Yeah.
collection
Yeah,
if you
because
like it.
too, like, I mean, Netflix can have a movie and then all of a sudden they lose the rights to it or something, and it's
And it's
gone.
gone.
And if you
Yeah.
buy it on Blu-ray, it's always there. You're always gonna know it's there.
Yeah.
So I mean, and once we hit the robots taking over, the
Oh
internet's gonna die
no.
down and stuff like that. So
Yeah, we're gonna be left
where's your
with
Netflix and Disney Plus?
we're gonna be left with nothing.
They're gonna come to us wanting to see the movies,
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Can we borrow a movie, please?" But
and we're gonna
but
say
yeah,
no.
huh?
That's a Watchmen reference, and I'll whisper no.
Oh,
But yeah, another little movie I wanted to talk to you about, because I don't think we talked about it at all. I know we were both excited for it, but now that it's literally made $1 billion at the box office, I wanted to talk to you about Joker.
oh yeah. Well, I think we did talk about it, but very briefly, like over text.
Yes,
But yes,
but not on here.
yeah, it was crazy. Because that movie did not receive the reviews that I was expecting. It was one
Yeah,
of those movies that I was like, wait, did we watch the same movie? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was kind of like, what? Because what people were saying, I was just kind of like taken back by it because I didn't see it that way. Obviously, I can see the negatives to it, but I also see the many pros and what they were trying to go for. And I thought it was a great movie. I loved it. I thought it was great. I think I gave it like a. I'm trying to remember what I scored it. I don't remember exactly what I scored it, but I know that it was a pretty high score.
yeah,
But no, I mean his performance was amazing once again. Going back to performance, the score was amazing. Um, cinematography was great. I love the whole color scheme behind it. It was great. I thought it was great. I don't know. What about you? Did you
I hated it. No,
whatever?
no, yeah, I loved it. Again, this movie has just been like it's gone through like a roller coaster ride, literally because of all the criticism it got beforehand
Mm,
being released, and even still like to this day, like it's been talked about, and it hit $1 billion and stuff like that, and that means a lot for movies too, and even superhero movies that you don't need to waste 250 million on movies and stuff like that to make a movie. And but it also means that I think there's still like a audience. The audience is still hungry for great storytelling, and I think that's what this one was. um but I wanted to ask you too. Mo asked me a question, like, do you think if this movie was based off Joker, like if it wasn't based off Joker, like it was just some random guy or
crazy
whatever, like,
person.
yeah, do you think it would have had this much attention?
I want to say yes because at the end of the day, people love crazy and people love
We're
chaos
all a little bit
and
psycho.
mania. And it's like, yeah, people love that as much as people try to act like they don't. People love chaos. Chaos is like what makes people, gives people that adrenaline, and that
Yeah.
mania, that whole, I think we all have that, like, we all like that idea of someone just being so psychotic. And especially with him because his type of psychoness, mania, whatever. There's a word for it. I'm trying to. Anyways, that his type is very much possible because
Yeah.
it was very relatable in a way. Because it
Yeah.
wasn't like he was part of some experiment or something like that. You know what I mean? It was just a guy that had a tough childhood, that had a bad mom, that was crazy too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so he was kind of what you call a product of his environment, so to speak. So I think it was just very relatable in that sense. So therefore I feel like if it didn't have the whole Joker thing behind it, it would have still been a great success. Because there's been movies like that done before and they've been successful. Look at
Yeah.
Psycho. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like Psycho is one of the greatest, hailed one of the greatest horror movies ever. So for a reason, because like I said, it's just people like that. So yeah, I definitely think, and I think actually putting the label Joker on it held it back because people wanted to how do you say it?
Compartmentalize or something like that.
I can't
I
talk.
can't say it either. Compartmentalize.
Yeah, they wanted to do that to him and put him in this little box because he is the Joker. So he had to fit within the that whole thing of what we know as a Joker. So,
Yeah.
and I think that's part of the reason why people didn't like it is because maybe he didn't fit quite the bill of what people expected. And maybe that's why they didn't like it. I don't know. But no, I thought it was great. And there's a bunch of theories, people saying that, it didn't really happen. It was all in his head, blah blah blah. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. I mean, if you haven't seen it by
I'm
now.
pretty sure a lot of people have seen it
I'm
already.
like, if you haven't seen it by now, then you
Except
shouldn't
China,
even
though.
then you shouldn't even be here. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that movie was just great because of its relatability. It was also very political, which I also
Very timely.
yeah, which I also thought that when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh man, I was like, this movie, people are gonna make a whole political thing about it, which is what I think ended up happening in a way. But no, I mean, I thought it was great. And what did you think? Do you think it would have gotten the attention that it got, or are you?
I think it still would have been a great movie, but as far as being a great success, I think that obviously any um publicity, whether it be bad or good, is still
The
publicity,
publicity.
and it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna help it in the marketing too. Like people are gonna want to watch the latest movie that's controversial. But
Mm-hmm.
also I think that it got a lot of love from people our age too because of Heath Ledger and what he did. I think that's when he became a little bit more mainstream. I think Joker was in the mainstream and stuff like that, but I think that movie, The Dark Knight, was so like it brought him more into our attention. Like the
Mm-hmm.
Joker is kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously the reason why there was controversy was because of the shooting, that surrounds the Dark Knight movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I think because of him being part of the Batman, part of Joker and stuff like DC in those previous movies, in those previous events, like I said, I think a mixture of all that's what made it have its success, at the end of it. But like I said, it's still at the end of the day a great movie. So it still would have been a great movie. It still would have had a lot of success. But I don't think it would have hit 1 billion if it wasn't part of the, DC stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think everything you said too is pretty spot on as well. Like he is a product of the society around him, and yeah, I think Joaquin did an incredible job.
Mm-hmm.
This would have been a tough movie to kind of pull off because of like the mental illness and stuff like that, and the subject matter of all this violent stuff. So I think Todd Phillips did a pretty good job. The only thing I didn't like about it is it did have a lot of similarities. It's not like shot for shot, but with like Taxi Driver, and I haven't seen King of Comedy,
Mm-hmm.
so but saying that has a little bit of vibes for like that too.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my only little like not pet peeve or
Gripe.
anything. Yeah, like if I were to nitpick it, but
Yeah.
that's it. It is in my top 10. I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
Uh, and I like it better than Endgame. So a
Wow.
lot of people are gonna be like, you know what?
Wow. Really?
Even
That's
I even told that
amazing.
to my brother, and he's like, nah, dude.
That's
As a
crazy.
film, absolutely, he's better than Endgame. I was more entertained, and I'm gonna rewatch Endgame a lot more. But
Yeah.
as a film, I personally loved Joker more.
Yeah, Joker didn't have a lot of rewatchability, but I don't think that necessarily makes it a bad film. I think that's just the way it is. There's some movies that I love that I won't see again because I'm like, no, you know what? I'm good. I watched it once. I'm good. But that doesn't say that it's not a great film. So I think he did an amazing job. Like you said, Joaquin just knocked it out of the park. And what do you think about them seeing, like, if they put him into this new universe, coming up with Robert Pattinson as Batman and stuff like that? Do you think you would like to see him as the Joker, like as the actual Joker?
Um, a part of me wants to says yes, because I would love to see, what Rob does with Batman, because I'm highly anticipating that film because of the director, him, and the cast.
Mhm.
Um, but there's also something that would be like, man, if this is just a standalone movie, because there's a lot of rumors about it having a sequel, and if you're the studio,
Mhm.
you'll be stupid not to try to get a sequel.
Mhm.
And I'm just kind of like, man, like I just want it to be a standalone movie, and that's it, like a Joker origin story, you know. But I mean, it would be cool to see him with Rob Pattinson, at the end, just have a little cameo and like, oh fuck, uh,
Just
maybe
pop
connecting
out.
those two, like having the DC universe and then having the Batman universe. That would be pretty cool. But um, I don't know. I think if they can find a way to make it fit, because I think this upcoming Batman movie is going to take place in the 90s.
Oh, okay. That should
Not
be
quite sure. So
interesting.
everybody's saying that Joker would be a little bit older, which kind of makes sense. I always felt like he was a little bit older than Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And it would kind of make sense too, because Bruce comes out in Joker
Yeah, and he's a
as
little
a
kid.
kid. Um, so I mean, I would personally just want to see what Matt Reeves does with Batman, like
Mhm.
one movie. And then if they want to connect it, okay, that would be cool.
And I mean, can we just say that Joaquin Phoenix can like really bust a move? Like, holy crap. I was like, is anyone like not gonna talk about this? That he's just a really good dancer. Like
He's the best. He's
he's just
he's
got
been on
natural
fire for
rhythm.
the last 10 years, and like with her, and even though I didn't really like Inherent Vice a lot, I really liked his performance. Like his performance in all his movies has been great for the last
Mhm.
decade.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm just happy that he's enjoying this right now. Hopefully he is.
Yeah.
He
No, and
deserves it.
I think that I don't know if I would want to see him with Robert Pattinson just because I feel like I'm kind of like you. I kind of want to I want him to just be left alone. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just leave the movie alone. It is what it is. Just leave it. I don't want it to get tangled up into this whole new universe just because I feel like it's in its own little bubble. You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
can't. And that's what people keep trying to do. They keep trying to be like, well, it's because this and this, and it's like, no, because that's not what the director wanted. He was just going for a standalone film. Like, that's it. But people obviously want to mix it with everything. And for me, I'm kind of like, no. I think I'm much more happy with it just being on its own, and I'm happy that I got to watch it, see his performance. It was great. I loved it. And that's it. And I just want to be like, okay, we're done. Move on to the next
Yeah.
universe. You know what I mean?
Same here too. Like I said too, it's kind of ironic too, because this movie proves that you can have a big success and make a lot of money without it being connected to anything. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
Avengers Endgame, it took 10 years and like 22 other movies for it to happen. Yeah, it's the biggest movie ever, but look at all the stuff it had to do. Joker just came out. It was a great movie. Yeah, it had the controversy and stuff like that, but it still was a great financial success. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like now they want it to be part of the universe. Now they want it to have sequels, and it's like, dude, like you don't need all that to have a great movie.
Yeah.
That's why I think hitting a billion, it means a lot. And hopefully studios can make more movies, because that's what the thing about comic book characters is, that even like something like Magneto, like I would love to see a standalone Magneto movie, because him and Professor Xavier have been my favorite part of the more recent X-Men movies. But there's just a lot of great characters and great stories if they do like standalone movies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it could sometimes get lost in the mix. That's why I love smaller MCU movies like Iron Man. The first one is literally about him. It didn't
Yeah,
have to
like
worry
they don't
about
have to
anything
be.
else.
Yeah, they don't have any other thing to worry about except just being the movie.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
but yeah, I completely agree. Oh, sorry. I keep yawning. But anyways, yeah, so we could talk for hours about that. Because that movie, if I really had to go back and dissect it, I could really get into it. But yeah, and aside from the fact that we haven't talked for a while, so that's why we're like, we have
No,
all
yeah,
these
that's
things
why
that we
we're
want
like,
to
hey, all
cover.
these movies. I'm like, you know what? There's a lot we can talk about, but these specific movies, like, I want to kind of talk about, because they're in our highly anticipated list and stuff like that. But real quick, Audrey, before we wrap this up,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wanted to take a look into the near future here. Let me see. Oh, and by the way, real quick,
Yes.
I highly recommend Waves. So if that gets to you,
Oh, you saw it already?
yeah, I've seen it already. Thanks, shout out again to one of my homies for because he actually got a screening for the people that went to Camp Flognog, that festival.
Uh-huh.
Because I
Mhm.
guess I don't know, there were some of the artists have music in that movie. So I guess they were promoting it like, hey, you're here at the festival. Here's a special screening for you guys. But he works, so he gave it to me. So
Mhm.
shout out
And
to
it was
him.
good.
Yeah, I loved it. It was
It
everything.
looks kind of like Moonlight. Mhm.
Yeah, that's what Alex was saying too. Yeah, I think that's why I was like, shit, like, but it's a different director. It's like these two directors could not be more different. But um, I highly recommend it once it comes. I think it already has limited release, but if it comes to your area,
Yeah,
please
no,
watch.
it's definitely one that I'm like, okay, I have to watch it. Another one that I'm kind of debating whether or not I want to watch, or not that I want to watch it, I do want to watch it, but I just haven't, is Pain and Glory. Have you heard anything about that one?
Oh yeah, with Antonio Banderas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about it, and it's been doing, with critics and everything, it's been doing really well. But I don't know if that's playing still with me, because like when I've seen it, I'm like, okay, Antonio, like I just didn't really hear a lot about it. But now that I have, like, I don't see it anywhere near me.
Yeah. Well, the reason that I wanted to watch it is because I guess it's kind of like I don't want to say a biopic, but kind of sort of Pedro Almodovar. I can't speak Almodovar.
Yeah.
And he's done some other movies that I really really enjoy. He has a very interesting way of filming that I really like. I think
He's a
I
director.
yeah, he I he's very popular, but he always uses Penelope Cruz. I think I wrote something on our Instagram page about him
Yeah.
for one of the movies that I recommended. It was a while back. But yeah, so I got
So it's a
darted on.
biopic on him.
Well, that's what I've heard, that it's like a semi biopic of his life or
Hmm.
whatever. I'm not sure. Like I said, that's what I heard. But yeah, that piqued my interest. So I definitely do want to see it. Maybe I'll go see that today. I feel like it's one of those movies that I want to watch like by myself.
Yeah.
Like it's like a
Not bad.
especially well, I don't know if he wants to watch it. I think I mentioned it to him and he was just kind of like whatever. But
Yeah.
um but yeah. So, sorry, my phone's going off. When our schedule gets posted on on our phones, my phone just blows up because everyone's trying to like
Switch
swap.
schedules or something.
Yeah. And I'm just like, "Can y'all shut up?"
I'm doing a podcast here.
I know, I'm like, sorry, sorry. But yeah. So anyways, but I'm happy that we got to hop on here and talk about these things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there was another movie that I want to talk about. Hmm.
I know I didn't tell you this before. I probably should have, but I kind of want to just talk about very quickly 5 movies. They're my most anticipated films for the rest of the year. And if you
Okay.
want to talk about any of these, then we can talk about it. So obviously Star Wars, Uncut Gems, Knives Out, Queen and Slim, and then Honey Boy.
Yes. Yes,
I
yes,
see
yes.
all those really really bad, and I'm seeing Queen and Slim and Knives Out this week, so I'm pretty excited.
Knives Out, I'm not too crazy about. Like I'm so weird. It's really rare for me to get excited from a trailer, and I always end up liking the movie. Once
Yeah.
again, this is a movie that Ben's very excited for. And it has a great cast. Like the cast
Yeah.
looks amazing. So I'm just like, wow. But I think I'm just kind of over because I've seen it been done. We had a movie that came out like this recently. What was it called?
Orient and
Um,
the Murder on the Orient Express.
yeah, but there was another one. It was like kind of like a horror movie slash comedy, like a black satire comedy. What was it called with the like a blonde girl? Fuck. Oh my
Oh,
God.
Ready or Not.
Is that what it was called? Where they like play like a game?
Like hide and seek, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Ready or Not. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it. I really wanted to check it out, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so I feel like I've seen movies like this been played before, like Clue and stuff like that, and I'm kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, who done it? It's really hard for me to get surprised by anything like that. But I mean, I've heard amazing things about it. Ben was telling me that critics have been giving it rave reviews, so it's probably
Yeah.
going to be really good. And I'm assuming it's because of the cast. So,
Yeah. And I love
um,
Ryan Johnson. Like I know nobody likes The Last Jedi, but I'm a big fan of it. But also Looper, and I haven't seen Brick yet, but I
mhm,
heard really good things about it too. So I think this is his next movie. I've been anticipating what he does next, so
mhm.
that's why I'm really excited to see what he does. And the cast, and I love those stories. I know like it could get tiresome, but I'm a sucker for like a whodunit story.
Yeah,
Oh, I even went to go see Murder on the Orient Express. Like even
yeah,
though that
yeah,
got like bad reviews, I'm like, nah, I still want to watch it.
yeah. Well, we'll see. And for what's the other one that I was gonna say? Honey Boy. That one looks amazing. I'm a
Yes.
sucker for Shia LaBeouf and for anything. He's just I I Ben thinks he's like a genius of our time, and I'm like, you know what? He's very talented. He is a very
Yeah.
talented guy, and I think he's very underrated because he's so humble. He's such a nice guy from like interviews and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's such a humble guy. And I'm really, really excited for him for this movie to come out because I know it's also a biopic about him growing up when he
He's
was
playing his
doing,
dad. Like, damn. Like,
yeah, and he's doing it during a time when he filmed Even Stevens, which is I think pretty iconic to both of us because we grew up on that.
and
So
holes.
and Holes, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just really, really exciting to see this kid that I've always liked him. He's always been he has such a charisma to him. And anything that he's done, I'm actually really surprised that he's not bigger. He's one of those actors and I'm just like, how? You know what I mean?
He's been doing a
Like,
lot of like low key stuff. Like, I don't know if you saw the Peanut Butter Falcon.
yeah. Well, I didn't see it, but I heard that one was really good too.
Yeah, that another movie that I just fell in love with, and he was awesome in that one. So, but yeah, he's been kind of low key doing his thing in little smaller movies, for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, he's very much an artist, so I feel like he kind of likes to keep low for some things when he's working on something,
Yeah.
which is probably why we don't see much of him. But anyways, speaking of that of Honey Boy, yeah, I'm pretty excited for that one. Which is the other one you said? You said Knives Out, Honey Boy, and
Queen
Star
and
Wars,
Slim, Uncut
Queen
Gems,
and
and
Slim,
then Star Wars.
Star Wars. Well, obviously, Uncut Gems. Which one's that one?
The one with Adam Sandler, directed
Yeah,
by the Safdie brothers.
I kind of had a feeling that I don't know. I'm kind of like on the fence about it. Like I'm kind of like, what is this? Like I don't know. I love Adam Sandler, but I like him more in his like Happy Gilmore days. I don't know
Yeah.
about this. I mean, it could be really good. It probably will be. Queen
Yeah.
and Slim, that one looks pretty cool too. It looks like it's gonna be a very beautiful movie.
Yeah. It looks like I don't want to compare it, but like something like Beale Street Can Talk, or even
Mm-hmm.
like this series, because of just of the story it presented in the trailer and of the time it's coming out too, like a modern day kind of like Bonnie and Clyde situation. So I'm really
Mm-hmm.
excited because Daniel Kaluuya, I mean, he's been fantastic. So I'm really excited for that one, and also Uncut Gems. I mean, I really loved Good Time, maybe not as much as our buddy, but I really loved what the Safdie brothers did.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait to see what they do with Adam Sandler, because I really love his serious work too. Um, and I just saw, I think it was early this year or late last year, I really saw Punk, Drunk, what was it called?
Oh, Punk Drunk Love.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
was
I
gonna
really
say
saw
Eat
it.
Punk Drunk Love.
I thought it was like punch something like, but I
Punch Drunk Love. What did I say?
shrunk love.
Did we say punk?
I don't know, but shame on us for not knowing
Yeah.
the name.
No, it's
Drunk love,
Punch Drunk
shrunk
Love.
love. Yeah,
Sorry.
I've really
Yeah.
seen it, and I thought he was fantastic in it. So I'm really excited to see what he does in this kind of role. And yeah, obviously, I mean, we don't really have to say much about Star Wars because it's Star Wars, and we've
Star
talked about it
Wars.
plenty of times.
Which is funny because yesterday, Ben actually filmed a review. Shout out, shameless shout out. It should be up on his channel. He filmed a review with one of his buddies for Mandalorian. They go into like
Really?
depth. Yeah. They
All
go
right, I
into
gotta check it out then.
they go into depth to talk about it. Anyways, and he was setting up like all his like memorabilia of Star Wars, and he has a good amount. And he was like, "Well, I'm a bigger fan than you are." And I was like, excuse you, I have all the movies," which is really surprising to me. I was like, "When did I even get those movies?" Like I said, I do like Star Wars, but I've never considered myself like a super freak, like a fan, like, oh my
Yeah.
God. But I was looking at my movies and I do have all of them. So I'm like, apparently I do like them. I even have The Force Awakens. The one that I don't have is The Last
Last
Jedi,
Jedi.
just because that one
What
was
about
just
Solo and Rogue One?
no, no, I draw the line. I like the original ones, and like I said, even these, like The Force Awakens, and it still like has me like, ugh, but I still, you're like a sucker for it. Like once you know the Star Wars universe, you're kind of like a sucker, and you just have to watch anything related to it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Such an iconic,
unfortunately.
such an iconic universe. Have you gone to the Star Wars land at Disneyland?
Yeah, I went earlier this year. One of my buddies, she works there, so she got me and one of my other buddies in there, and it was pretty cool. I loved it. The ride was pretty cool. It kind of hurt my head a little bit, but it was just cool to see all that stuff there, like live action.
Yeah.
Like there, like the Millennium Falcon, like, and the fact that you can like be a pilot or like a shooter or whatever like that. That was really cool. I didn't get to go to the cantina though because you have to make reservations. So that's
Um.
and
Well, I
yeah,
heard that
it's very small though.
yeah. And I heard that they're just so they immerse you. Like they basically like dunk you into like this like universe of
Yes.
Star Wars where it just doesn't even feel like you're in California anymore or at Disneyland for that matter. Like you just feel like you're in some completely
Like
different.
stormtroopers walking around. Kylo Ren comes out like randomly. It's
That's
pretty cool.
so cool. I mean, you gotta give it to Disney. They really know how to put on a show. I love, oh my God, that's what I was thinking because I I think yesterday it was Mickey Mouse Day. It was Mickey Mouse's birthday, I believe,
Oh yeah,
yesterday.
Steamboat Willie. I think it's like the anniversary of it.
Yeah, and I mean, I was like, man, like I get all emotional because it's like Disney is just it's such a monster. Like Jesus. They really know how to put on a show and how to make everything just magical.
Yeah.
Cause like,
While
cause
getting
like
our money in the process.
well, yeah, they're like that's why they're super successful because they are a business, but at the end of the day, I feel like they just really know what they're doing. Um, because I was thinking I want to go to Disneyland so bad to check out Star Wars Land also, but just to get that. I always like to go at
That
least
fix.
yeah, like I have to go at least like every if I could, I could go. I wish I could go every year, but if I were up to me, but obviously I can't now that I'm this far. But hopefully I can go soon so I can get my Disney fixed because yes, I've been getting it through Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I've been watching all the classic. I was watching Little Mermaid, I was watching Pocahontas, I was watching which one was I watching? Oh, The Adventures of Mr. Toad. The
Oh
one in the woods.
yes.
That one's my favorite. I love that. So yeah, I've just been binge watching all that shit. It's been great. I
Yeah.
love it. But yeah. Oh, another one that I wanted to talk to you about really quick was Doctor Sleep. What do you think of Doctor Sleep?
I thought it was one of the few sequels that like the example of like how to do a sequel, especially in horror. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. It's in my top. Let me see where the hell. I have all my letterbox stuff, and you should make letterbox.
You've been telling me that
Like
forever.
please.
I know
It's
you've been telling
it's in
me
my
that.
top 15 right now. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought Ewan McGregor did a pretty good job. And it's
Mm-hmm.
easy. It would have been easy to make a sequel. Like, oh, let's just put a different family in the hotel again and have them go
Yeah.
through the same shit. You know, it's like this one was so obviously Stephen King wrote the book and this is based on the book, but it was pretty difficult for the director Mike Flanagan to kind of okay, what am I gonna adapt, the book or the movie? Because the movie is different from the book. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and Stephen King wasn't a big fan of The Shining, the movie.
Yeah.
So I thought he did a great job in kind of delivering a great sequel to that story and
Mm-hmm.
continuing it in a way that kind of wraps things up for some characters, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just really interesting to see how that world is, you know, with The Shining and there's other like people that want to get it to live longer and stuff like that. And Rebecca Ferguson was fantastic as well. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was definitely a pleasant surprise for me as well. I was really surprised by it actually. Quite enjoyable, didn't drag at all. Really liked all the characters. Everything was super cool. Yeah, it was. I don't really have any negatives about it. It was really, really good. Really well done. So,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely 2 thumbs up for me.
Definitely, definitely. No, I know this year has been. I remember talking to you about movies earlier. And you were like, "Yeah, it doesn't. 2019 is kind of
Yeah,
whack,"
we're like,
you know.
well,
But
yeah, I mean, compared to other years, though, I mean, we have gotten good ones, but I'm just saying, like, it felt like it took a while for it to pick
yeah,
up.
it definitely. But
But
it like once it took off, I think it took off
it
because
was like,
there's like even Ford versus Ferrari. I just saw Loose and the Nightingale. I don't know if you've seen that one.
not yet, no.
Just it's just been plenty of movies that I've seen. I'm like, you know what, this year has actually turned out pretty good, and hopefully we have like other movies to look forward to as well. But yeah, it's very exciting to like all the stuff that we can do, like because this decade is ending, we can look back at the decade and all our favorite films from 2010, 11, all that stuff, and our top 10 or 20 or whatever of this year. Just a lot of stuff is coming to the channel without kind of giving anything
Hmm.
away. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and hopefully again, me and Audrey can do this weekly again. It would be pretty cool to talk movies, and and I know everybody kept asking where's she at. No, she didn't go away. She's gonna
I'm
come
still
back.
here. I
She's still
promise. I'm
here.
still here. Yes, I'm still alive. But yes, it was very, very nice to catch up with you. Talk movies, always a good time. But yeah, hopefully we can keep this up.
Yeah, hopefully, guys. And yeah, let us know anything if you guys want to tell us anything about any of the movies that we've talked about, any of the shows as well. Let us know in the comment section down below. And if you guys want to follow us outside of YouTube, you guys can at the Real Talk with two Ks on Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, guys, until next time, we'll see you at the movies. Peace.
Peace.